Hello and welcome in this new little lab about managing shared directories. In this case, we will need already the question from before about the groups and users, because if you don't have that, well, first this is not going to work because you need the sysadm group to be there, and also if you want to test it, well, you may want to use some users from that group. And if you don't have all this, well, it's gonna be difficult to test. So anyway, you need to already have it as a prerequisite that you understand and that you manage the groups and users. Then we are going to go through it. So basically the idea is that we need a shared directory. This directory will be there, shared sysadm, and the group ownership will be sysadm, and maybe I should have named sysadmin because, man, this is a pain to pronounce this thing every time. Well, whatever. It's only accessible to members of the sysadm group. New files created in directory must automatically inherit the sysadm group. So in this case, I already put in parentheses that is the set group ID a bit. They might not tell you that explicitly, but this is the case. Make sure you know that there is, there are three kinds of special bits. There is the set group ID, and there is the set UID, which is the user ID, and there is the sticky bit also, which is the the sticky bit is a bit different, but basically let's put it like the sticky bit. The sticky bit will it's something that you use, for instance, for the temp TMP directory, because you want only the file owner to be able to delete the file that he put there. So this is why it's used in this kind of stuff. But in this case, we will only use the group ID. The UID would be used more for weird stuff. It's more for executables when you want that it runs with the owner's privileges. So it's a bit weird, but you don't need to understand that. Mostly you will be asked for the group ID. So just remember that. Remember the commands nonetheless. Maybe they ask them, maybe they change a bit, so be flexible. Understand a bit how they work. But in this case, we are going to use the example of the set group ID. I don't want to make the videos too long. The idea being that you should be able to pass the RHCSA with a minimum of training. Just repeat what we are about to do, and this is gonna work normally. So importantly, you need to start creating the directory. Well, you know the mkdir, which you should know. Use the -p because this will help you to create something if the previous, let's say for instance now we create the shared sysadmin, right? So shared, okay, it's better to copy. Let's do it the right way. You should do it like this during the exam, not to make a mistake. So let's do it this way as well. So you copy paste, and imagine the shared, the /shared doesn't exist. Well, this won't work if you don't have the -p, because you need to create a directory in a directory. The P stands for parents, I think, and it allows you to create the parent directory as well as the child/children. I mean, whatever you're making. So in this case, you will create both the shared and the sysadmin. For instance, in this case, let's not do it, but let's try without the P actually. Okay, I'll do it again. Maybe I could copy it, but okay. Let's see like this. And you see it doesn't work. Why? Because shared doesn't exist. If I do a ls shared, it doesn't exist. So what we want to do is we want the P for parent, and then it works. But most of you probably knew this. It's just important for those who don't, then I just explained it quickly. Okay, now the group ownership. Well, the group ownership, it's easy to change. You do a change owner. Basically, it stands change owner. If you do chown, it stands from change owner, I think. I mean, that's always what I thought. I suppose it's the case. So change owner, and we're going to change the owner of this. Usually when you change the owner, you want to put the group and user. In this case, we're only going to change the group, so we can do it just like this by saying sysadmin group. Sysadmin already exists as a group. It's important to make sure it exists. Look, I will comment this, and I will do a get and Group sysadm. Oh, sorry, my mistake. And you see that we have the group sysadmin with the users Harry, Natasha from the previous question. We did that stuff already. So we're going to, now I uncomment this, we're going to change the group ownership of that directory. So I put that again. Also one thing that's useful, you do escape dot, and then you have the last being used argument in the command line, so that's pretty useful. And we now change the ownership. So now if I do a LSL and shared, then I will see the content, and you see here you're having the right user ownership, which is sysadmin. Now we also want to change the permissions. Here you can do it very quick. The very quick way is basically to use the octal notation. The octal notation is using, like, 770, 750, la la la. In this case, they want only accessible to members of the sysadmin group. They don't say anything about the owner, but we'll still give the owner. I mean, they don't say, so we don't care. Chmod, so change. It's also the same. It's like basically change and modify. Well, it's weird actually, but it's chmod. Whatever. You remember that stuff. It's chmod. Who invented these names? I don't know. Anyway, it's chmod, and then you want to set that permission to 2770. Why the 2? This is exactly where we are going. 2 is for the set group idea. If you don't remember that stuff, it's okay. You can also do it like this. 770, which will be like full permissions for the owner, full permissions for the group, and 0, nothing for the others. Basically, it always goes like this. I mean, we don't need to go through this. You can check that on some website also, how does chmod work, or you can also do a man chmod, and you will see exactly what we are doing. You can read that whole stuff, but honestly, it's a bit boring. You don't need all that stuff. So I just suggest you remember it, and you just do this chmod. Wait a second. So chmod, and then you do these 770 and for shared admin. So and then zoop. Okay, no, okay, I will type it. I could copy it. I will type it. I'm crazy. Okay, and then zoop. And now if we do LSL shared, now we will see that the permissions have changed. Now you see it's RWX, and nothing for others, which is what we want, but we want also that new files created in directory must automatically inherit the sysadmin group. Now, if we go there in this, basically in this folder, if we go there, oh man, I knew it. I'm always gonna make this mistake with the typo. Okay, and now we make their shubidu, let's say. Let's do a LSL shubidu. Yeah, okay. Maybe like this. Yeah. So you see, it's root. We didn't inherit the sysadmin group. The idea by setting this set group ID is that any subfolder created in that folder will inherit the group of that folder. Which is why we're going to go up with cd ... and we check again. Here we don't have the set UID. Now we could do again a chmod and do this, but we can also do it. We can do another kind of chmod, which is basically where we say, so look at this. We say the group plus S, basically group set. So it's telling us we add the set group ID for that specific directory. So we are going to now give the same, and it should come back here. If we do that, it will also do the same than if we did the other thing with the 2770. So instead you can do chmod 770, this, and then add the group ID to it. If we do that, then we do again LSL, and we should see this little magic here, the X transformed into a S, you see? We could remove it by doing this, and look, we'll do both of this. We remove the set group idea. Now it's again an X, you see it here, magic, ta-na-na-na. Try to do it with me. Pause the video, I don't know, try it a couple of times, it's fun. You remove, you add it again. And now we're going to do another chmod. We're going to do the chmod with 2770. By doing that, we use the octal, but we use the set group idea with the number in octal. The others also have numbers, you can check it out. I forgot now, but it's also possible if we do it this way. Then if we do like this, then the S is back as well. So two ways of doing it. Either you remember this, which you can also find in the chmod, in the man page of the chmod, so you can search in there. If you do chmod help, maybe there is also some information here. Yeah, you see, look at this. Look at this stuff. Wow. Okay, you don't need to remember that, but you have a bunch of options. So anyway, if you did, for instance, instead of doing what I just did here, if you did this, U plus S, you would be adding the user ID. So basically, this would be for what I explained before, for the executables. So just remember you have this possibility, but remember you have also this possibility with the plus, and then you have also with the octal, so either way it's fine and it's gonna work. Now if we check again, then we see that our sysadmin has the group ID setup. The S would appear here if it was the user ID, I think. Oh no, it would appear here actually in the owner, I think. Oh, well, I don't know. We can try it actually. Let's try it. I forgot. Let's add it like this, and now ls_lan, and we'll see. Yeah, exactly. You see it appears here. That's what I thought. So it appears in the owner. Basically, the user has the. We could call it the owner bit actually, but it's called the user bit, and it allows you to run a file with the elevated privilege of that. I mean, elevated or not, with the privileges of that owner. That's why it's in the owner, it just makes sense. But basically the group ID is enough for this question, and that's what should pop up in the RHCSA exam. So with that you should be good to go already. I just gave you some bonuses here. And make sure it's persistent across reboots, but using the commands I've given you, this is normally persistent across reboots, so you don't have to worry. If you would put the sticky bit, it's with the little T, I think. So sticky bit, sticky bit, but and this is for completion only. So for instance, let's say we want to, I don't know, we could take some example. We want to prevent users from deleting other files in shared directories. So we could do O plus T, for instance, instead of what I did here with U plus S. By the way, I'll remove it because it wasn't in the question, but we could use also like O plus T, or we could also put it on the users or whatever, but usually you want to put it on the others, it just makes more sense. And if you do that, you will also see, if you do the ls_lan, you will see that you have a big T here, and this is the mark of the sticky bit. You can remove it by just using the minus here. And that's it, and it closes our lesson for today. Thank you.